Hey traders from around the world, welcome to your Monday real life stock review with Jeremy Alexander Newsome. That is me. Trust you're doing magical. Let's talk about the trades that happened and transpired today. SPY didn't do all that much. That was sarcasm. So SPY, beautiful, beautiful move. This morning, gapped up, opened at a new high. So we haven't been this high since October 17th. So these highs that we're battling, they're up there. And in fact, last night when the markets gapped up on the futures, myself and a few real life traders in the futures channel played this little guy right here. Bearish entry at 281650 by 2820. That was good for about a good point. I wish I would have held on to it, obviously, because the SPY just dumped later in the day. Later today, but no big deal. That was good for about an R, and the bullish entry, I did cancel that a few minutes before market open, and that never filled. So anyway, good little play there, and again, Troy got into it, Roberts into it, snagged some gains, snagged a few points, which is pretty solid in the futures world. But anyway, back to the SPY. Shout outs to Michael Davidoff, who played the SPY bullish today. SPY was tanking, and we were keeping a real close eye on when to go long. And we just watched it and watched it and watched it for a reversal signal. Meaning, yes, we missed all of that bearish move. At least me, I didn't personally take anything bearish on the SPY today. But once this morning star reversal pattern came in here, and then it posted a new low with a tweezer bottom, that's when we're like, okay, guys, let's hop in bullish. Entry was there, stop was there, and that was a nice little pop in the afternoon for the SPY. We did try taking a trade on Square. Well, we didn't try it. A few people took Square bullish, and it just didn't really do very much. We tried it, did our best, and it just didn't really do that much, realistically. Our entry was here, and our stop was down here. And it broke out, retested, popped, retested hard, and then traded sideways all afternoon. So it just never really ran. But Square did have a nice sell-off today. And what's very interesting on Square is at this point, we did not close below the low of the 28th candle, but we did go lower. And what's really fascinating from here is just to try to find out what Square will do. So if we pull up the 15-minute chart and turn the extended hours on, it does look like Square is trying to trade lower tomorrow. You'll notice this is actually where we stopped, was pretty much the pre-market low of that earnings move, and that was where we bounced. So I think we could easily trade back down to 73.40 and potentially look for a little bit of a long play there. But worst case scenario, I don't know exactly what Square is going to do. It could go down pretty far, but a lot of real life traders were taking advantage of some of the selling today by doing some put sales, because we would not be afraid to buy shares of Square a little bit lower. The daily 100 and 200 simple moving averages are around 70. So that'll likely be a pause there. But the worst case scenario that I can see on Square probably would be a decent little bearish move down into the 60s, and then most likely a bounce out of there. Is that going to happen? I really don't know, but I will say prepare for it, or at least create a plan for it just in case, because it could. It's a little extended. Here's the 100 simple on a weekly chart. We're very far away from it. It's down there at 50. And yeah, we got a really nice high wave candle. Last week, earnings are out. We will see. I think Square needs a pullback. I'm happy if it does. This is going to be the market punishing people who took Square bullish on the 28th, thinking, oh, this thing's just going to go to 100. So all those newbies who were just buying Square on that day, market's going to punish them for a little bit, trade down lower. I think we're going to break a lot of these stop zones that people got their stop placements in on Square, and then she'll eventually bounce. So it's a buy the dip for me on Square. The question is just how far will it dip? I don't know that answer yet. So we'll see. But anyway, that's what I got right now on Square. Tesla. So Tesla did make another bearish move today. This one was a continuation from Friday's bearish gap and go. And again on Friday, a lot of traders made a decent coinage on Tesla. The interesting thing is this is the weekly chart and it's stuck right in the middle of the long terms. So it's in between the 100 and the 200. Niels and a few other people have some put sales. This is actually an iron condor that Niels has. And a few other traders have this put sale all the way down here at 165 on Tesla, which means it would have to drop about 50% between now and May for that to become an issue. But there is a solid chunk of premium down at 165. Right now there's about $4 for May. So if you don't mind owning shares of Tesla at 165, that's something you could consider. The 100 simple moving average on a monthly chart is 185.44. So looking at this monthly chart, inside month last month, a little bit of a breakdown. Obviously, we're trading pretty sideways. I do think that Tesla could see some lower moves and at some point would most likely be viable. But today was just a good continuation, and here's the 5-minute chart of how a few traders played Tesla, and it was based off of this kind of double top evening star type of pattern. So it broke down, retested, and here's your evening star reversal, bearish candle, and once that bullish candle came in right here, so that bullish candle was 9:55 Central. Talked about doing the 286.92 by 289.45, and all those old stops you can see that's just where we were lowering the stop. These blue arrows is where I mentioned if anyone was in the trade to take off a small partial position on Tesla, and most likely would have just ended up trailing that out really nicely. And if you played it with puts, I don't think you lost on Tesla. Obviously, it depends on where you got in specifically, but you shouldn't have lost. And if you did, let me know, because let's have a session, work on your timing, and see what we can do. But anyway, Tesla, that was a nice little move today. The trade of the day for real life trading was on Facebook. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Holla at your boy. We were doing Mentorship Monday, and the practice information this morning was discussing pre-market data and how to get in and get out of a trade really, really quickly. So if I zoom in, this was posted right at market open. 164.89 by 164.19 on Facebook. That and NVDA, so we're going to look at both of those. But really the interesting thing is if I come back over here, you'll actually notice about 3 minutes later, I was like, hey guys, let's lock in. Let's go ahead and lock in gains on both of those trades. That was an R in 10 minutes. 1 R in 10 minutes. This was, my friends, if you want to practice just amazing gap and goes on the big name companies that people trade with options, pull up Facebook and take a screenshot of that. Perfect in every way. Literally just so amazing. Everything you could have want on Facebook happened at open. Gorgeous gap and a nice little run. So we obviously had to play it on the 1 minute chart, and since it was a gap and go, you had to be kind of aggressive with that move. Here's the 1 minute time frame, and here's how we played it. High of these two candles was 164.85 and 164.85. We did the 164.89 by 164.18, so I was kind of right in there. And exited just a few minutes later for an R. And I say literally a few minutes later. I was like 3-4 minutes later on Facebook. Those are really good trade. That was the trade of the day. Obviously could have held for a little bit more, but I'm really not stressed about how well we did it. The reason I exited so quickly was number one, because that's what we were practicing today on Mentorship Monday. A lot of traders saw me take a trade on various stocks in the month of February and got an R within like 3 to 4 minutes, and they're like, hey, how do I do this? I need to practice that. So we practiced that today for Mentorship Monday. So NVDA was a very, very small gain, but it was a gain. And this was the breakout of this pre-market high. So breakout of this pre-market high with a stop down here. And you can see if you exited here or up here, you were able to lock in a small gain before, obviously, NVIDIA, if you take your stop up and NVIDIA started tanking. This is on the 1 minute chart, so decent little gain. Overall, on the daily chart on NVIDIA, it actually closed up 0.2% today. So NVDA, a few traders keeping their eyes on NVIDIA, I would suggest that. The moving averages are starting to try to curve up. We closed above all the moving averages today on the daily chart. This 140 put sale for March 29th looked real toasty. And one of the things I like about NVIDIA the most is this volume on the weekly chart. Just really peer at this volume and notice how bullish it is and how much bullish volume is coming in down here. So people are accumulating NVIDIA, and I think that's a wise decision over the next few weeks to months. The next target realistically is an easy 198. So I think we could get up to 198 because most of the stocks that have or did take that really giant market dump in December have gotten back up to their 100 simple on a weekly. Facebook has done it, SPY has done it, the Qs has done it, Amazon's done it, Google's done it, Apple's done it, AMD's did it, Micron Technology did it. So NVIDIA, I guess, is probably one more. Square obviously did it, but yeah, NVIDIA is probably one more to slowly at some point creep up there. But anyway, definitely start keeping your eyes on this one bullish from here on out because it does look pretty nice. Workday, a lot of traders took advantage of some of the volatility on Workday and sold some puts today really far away. 150 for April and 140 for July. That one came in to retest that retest gap right there. My buddy Chad is keeping an eye on Tilray. Chad says this one's about to start moving at some point, and can't really argue that one, man. The weekly chart, it is looking nice. There's a move brewing. If I had to guess, it'd probably be bearish. That just makes the most sense. So the low of this candle, the open and the low is almost a shaved bottom. So we start taking out 70, let's just call it 75, 97, 76. We start closing below there on an hourly chart or a daily chart. I would say keep your eyes peeled for a little bit of a bearish trade on Tilray. Anyway, that about sums it up for me, folks. If you have any requests or anything you want me to look at, feel free to hit me up. Actually, sorry, let's do one more. Apple. This is another one that we had some great analysis for early this morning for a really quick bullish trade, and I just missed this one. It just happened a little too fast, and we were in Facebook and NVIDIA, so just didn't have the buying power or the time or the speed to get into all three of those. But Apple, such a great gap this morning. Beautiful open. 1 minute. Look at the volume on the very first 1 minute candle, followed by the volume on the second 1 minute candle. And that was just right at that pre-market resistance. So getting in at 176.16 with a stop at about 175.60. I mean, that was a good 2-hour trade on Apple for my buddy Ken Freeman, who was able to take a move on Apple. And today was a great day. It really was. Congrats to, for all those traders who made some good gains. This was actually a day where I ended up closing a lot of our official swing trades because they were all profitable. So as rare as that is, this was a 4.3R day and a 4.3R for Mark, because I didn't take any trades realistically on Friday that really amounted to much of anything. So I lost like a quarter of an R on a Tesla spread. So I've had a few break evens on Friday. So pretty much Friday, literally absolutely 100% flat. Today's the first day that I'm counting for March, and 4.3 Rs. Keep track with me, tuning in every single day into the real life trading, because I mentioned that each day I was going to look at donorschoose.org. I don't know why I don't have that already listed in my thumbnails, but donorschoose.org for Kids Month. I discussed that each month, we were going to pick one that we could all focus on together. And let's see here. I forget which one. I had someone locally post one that I was going to check on. Give me about 20 seconds. All right, so I was just checking with my assistant, aka my fiance, aka Ashley Allen, to see if there was a specific project that we were going to focus on, but not yet. That's coming. There's a few classrooms that we know of in the local area who probably need help. So let's just do this. Let's knock out a real easy one. Miss Wood Liberty Early Elementary only needs $140. We can knock this out easily today. Expires May 4th, so we have plenty of time. And again, you can see where your donations go to, right? So they have them all kind of really created and outlined. So I'll include a link in the description box. 140 bucks. Give $1. Every single person here gives $1. Everyone's watching it. 140 bucks. It's going to be an absolute amazing. We're going to make sure that we come back to this one in our next stock review on Wednesday. And if it is not full, I will pay for it fully myself, and then we will find another one on Wednesday to help with. So this is the March Challenge, all about donating, all about helping the kids of the world learn the stock market, learn finances, grow, progress, and enrich lives. Miss Woods, we're coming for you. Consider this thing filled by next Wednesday. Real life traders, get on it. If you have any questions, let me know. And until then, love life, and trade it. Bye.